validated. You know, it's what is coming is a certificate. It's just a certification. Because I mean, do you see what we have done?
Your time to ask your questions. I implore you, no personal questions. Ask yes. Stick with the cookathon.
What was your contribution to keep it stagnant, to keep you energized for the whole period of time?
So, in the beginning, when I started the attempt, I would say the first day was the hardest day. I almost gave up at least 6 times on the first day. And as time went on, and my family, my friends, you know, my followers, and just the general public that came and, you know, sort of became part of the dream and became part of, like, we like calling it the journey. Even when I wanted to give up, and I saw how invested people were, it dawned on me more that I knew I wasn't doing this for just myself, but in that moment, it was more about the people that were there. And I could not finish that 100 hours without those people. So I thought that, I worked out, it was the working out. The working out got me there. But what kept me there was God, and I honestly drew strength from every single person that was there. It could have happened to rest. I heard there was so much traffic, the road was blocked, and people were literally going through the fence to come. And it wasn't like they took selfies with me, or they got merchandise, or they got money. So it was honestly, I feel like it was purely just Nigerians seeing a dream that was viable, and they just wanted to see it.
If your record is overtaken by the Liberian chef, now cooking.
See, how would I feel if my record is not validated? To me, my record has been validated. You know, it's what is coming with a certificate. It's just a certification. Because do you see what we have done? Make sure that we left absolutely no stone unturned when we looked at the guidelines. We got the timekeepers, we got the adjudicators, we ran their shifts, we did it all. We measured every single meal that was made, we measured the yield, we counted the numbers, we have all the statistics, we have all the documentation. Like it wasn't child's play. It was a very deliberate attempt, and we put in the work. And because I know that we put in the work, we were live the entire time. We were live the entire time. So if there was anybody that had the time and watched it from day 1 till day 5, they know that I did. They know that we did it. So if the attempt is not validated by Guinness, what's their problem?
At my food place, and I saw a lot of teamwork when I came there. And then with this cookathon, there's a lot of teamwork. What advice do you have for young people that are working as a team? Thank you.
Now, the second question is on teamwork. And I feel like it's important to start with this. We live in a time where a lot of people are scared to give credit. You know? Where everybody wants to come, and then something like this happens, and you want to be in a space where you're like, you can say, I did it by myself, you know. It's difficult to get to a place where there is a we. Now, that has never been the case for me. Down to my place of work, it's important to see that everybody feels seen and everybody is heard. So I try my best to create an environment where we understand that, you know, we're on the same page, we can disagree, but there's a common goal.
Henry here from the Real Downtown Visit. For some of us working in the New York City production, right, from 2021 at the office. nobody goes to church. So a lot of people don't realize how, you know, people like where the mouth is being between Nigerian tradition and you want that. And you know, there's been, you know, a beautiful progression from then. You know, you went from the great life to that area and now this. I made a football analogy about this. You know, like, if it's something similar to, like, if Nigeria were to World Cup, for instance, the World Cup final, World Cup from the vice president, the vice and the West people, not right, and you go like, Nigerian, really cherry. It's, you know, going to the stage now, and it's also one question, what next?
You know why? Because when you do something like this, and then there's this much attention, everyone is waiting for the next thing that you're about to do. And everybody expects that the next thing that you're going to do has to be bigger than the last thing that you have done. But I've made a conscious effort to tell myself that this was a means to my end. There were reasons why I decided to do this. Before now, I own a restaurant, I teach, and one of my biggest goals is I want Nigerian recipes to be propagated across the world. You know, I want it to be a normal thing to meet Egusi in an American home. I want you to be able to walk into any random supermarket and find Nigerian ingredients. You don't have to travel hours to one African store to find just a couple of ingredients. Now, the only way we are going to be able to achieve that is if the demand for it increases. Because if the demand for it increases, it means that there is now a market there, and people will feel that, okay, I need to start cultivating Egusi in Atlanta. I need to start planting wild spinach, that's okazi, in the UK. I need to, you know, so I need to do this. Now, doing this cookathon meant more people will interested in Nigerian recipes. But this is not the only thing I have to do. It means I still have to teach more people how to cook Nigerian. Hopefully, it means more people will be interested in learning how to make these meals that I made during the cookathon. So it still helps me to achieve my goal. I want to expand my restaurant. I was already in the process of, you know, setting intention to expand my restaurant, opening up to investors to come in and, you know, franchise for other countries and other parts of the world as well. And I'm trying to create jobs. Now, everybody wants to work in an oil company because there are so many perks. I used to tell my staff that very soon it will be a big deal to be working in a business because the perks are going to be so good. You will find a chef that has an official car, that has his own house because he's well paid, has his insurance, has his HMO. That's the system that I'm trying to do.
This feat, what do you think this means, and how much pressure do you have going on right now in your weekend? You know, because this is no joke, bro. This is no small feat. So I just want to know what this means for a girl child, and what would you want to say to that girl, to that lady on the streets of Lagos or on the streets of Nigeria in terms of their need to achieve or to go for their dreams?
I say it's not likely because even I growing up, there was a point where I felt, oh, once I finish from school, I just need to get married and I just need to give birth, and then my husband will just change my life and will just spend his money, and you know, and that's because for the longest time that's the narrative that has been put out there. You know, we haven't created a system where women know that they are capable of so much more. So much more. Women are so strong and so tenacious and so we're capable of so much. So what happens now is people believe that if you're a girl and you're smart, you cannot be beautiful. You know, if you're a young girl and you're beautiful, you cannot be smart. Or in fact, if you're smart, you shouldn't still be doing too much without your smartness because there's so much out there for you, you know. There are men there to pay for your life. But it doesn't have to be that. You can be young, you can be beautiful, you can be smart, you can be sexy, and you can still be capable of changing the world.
So my question is there a particular time or a pattern you had to improvise or adapt to an unexpected
time. I'll say the entire time because, and this is me speaking about it physically, it was hard. It was hard. It was hard every day because I had to deal with the anxiety of failure. Like, I think that was the first thing that I struggled with. Yeah, and I don't know if anybody has felt anxiety so much that you start to feel pain from like your shoulder into your ribs, and then you can't really function, but then you still have to, you have to keep going. And just the fear of what if I fail. The fear of what if I fail can stop you from doing a lot of things by the way. So it was hard every day. There was a point I could barely see, there was a point where I was seeing the stage upside, I don't know, back to front. I don't have to explain, but it was kind of upside down, so I wasn't really seeing well, because again, I don't know if it was because of anxiety, but I wasn't eating, and I wasn't drinking water because I didn't want to have to pee, but I was trying to save as much of my break so that I could sleep, even if it's for 10 minutes or 20 minutes. So I was not hydrated as much as I should have, and I wasn't eating. So, which means that, once my blood sugar, when they took my vitals, my blood sugar was low almost all the time, and my dad was worried, everybody was worried. So I think that sort of affected my vision a bit, because, at some point I did not really see properly. And I did a lot of improvising, because I was making recipes that I have made over 100 times or 1,000 times. So I just already know what goes in it. I think 75% of the things I made I didn't taste. I wasn't tasting it. They have to tell me, please, I think you need to taste it, because that's probably the only way you would be able to eat. At some point, they came back to me and said, some people are complaining that the coconut jollof rice is not sweet. I say, how? How would you say it's not sweet? I was ready to fight. But I think I realized that they were saying that so that I would go and taste it, just so that I would eat something. But nothing was working. So I did a lot of improvising. I turned Sydney shoes into ice buckets. So that I used ice to try and keep my eyes open. It was a lot of things. At some point, my assistant had to direct me through when I was half asleep, half awake, half thinking. It was hard. I can't lie to you. It was hard. And I had to, improvise. I would slap myself just so that I would wake up. It was a lot of things, but God saw us through. God bless us.
When she was speaking, I remember when they were 3 years old, and I keep then in Calabar, people were still using what they call vernacular, and I start my children by, you have to be speaking English, you don't speak English, you don't eat biscuit, you're not entitled to any biscuit, and you speak any pidgin English, you know where that will land. And my children started speaking English, and when she was speaking there, and I told them that I'm grooming you because you're going to be very late. That's why even from the name I gave my children, I dreaded poverty, like sickness. So from the name I give them, if someone is not rich, I can't give. I had a friend that they were so rich, and her name was Hilda. That was why I picked that name. And I saw the other one, Gilbert. The man was rich, I gave my son. And I was always conscious because I knew there would come a time like this that my daughter would be sitting and making speech. And when she was speaking, I said, speak your mother's name.
Love it.
At that point, I was selling Mama Put, I called it so. I cook in the bush because I didn't have a shop. The place had no shop, so there's no place I would say, let me rent. I was under the canopy. And under the canopy, you understand, we're selling food for over 300 customers a day. Hilda was a child. Each time she comes, you see her being so anxious to serve customers as a child. And that's what has led her to this. I'm a caterer and I've produced an international chef. I'm a caterer and I've produced an international chef.
I was very excited to come on board and come on board free of charge because I saw this as a project for the culinary industry. Like I mentioned to you, I'm the vice president of the culinary industry of Nigeria, and it's a huge responsibility on my shoulder to ensure that chefs have a platform and to ensure that every single culinarian is given the right look. I have this vision that Nigeria will be a global food destination by 2025, and so every single thing that we're doing is working in that direction. And for us, this is like a huge milestone in achieving that. So if you ask me that, I'm not the one in the kitchen being recognized by CNN and BBC, I'll tell you that it doesn't matter because the bigger picture for anyone that cares to see has been achieved. Very important to mention. My job was not just to prep the ingredients. I was also there, just like Chioma said, my job was also to ensure that she followed the guidance as regards to the cooking. So I was in that booth watching and ensuring that every single protocol was observed. She cooked all her meals by herself. And another thing that I said to some other press people as well, Hilda Baci was so meticulous that she did not even permit us to marinate and ingredients for her. She said she wanted, I told her, and I don't mind getting backlash from my own self on this, I told her, let's buy a car. Let's buy a car and cut this car and fry car. This will save us some time. Abi? She said no. She said she wanted to cook her meals. I was almost in tears hearing it because I'm like, Ma, you don't have anything to prove. But she said it was an opportunity for the world to know about Nigerian food. And for everyone that watches, you see how Nigerian food shone.
Personally, Hilda's career in putting up this cookathon has been a growth path for me because I have experience in project management aside from marketing communications, and this was a great part to my growth. And aside from having the amazing team to push this or work with them, it was easier for me to have a proper relationship with Hilda and also gain my own experience as well in this part.
When she was speaking, I remember when they were 3 years old, and I keep then in Calabar, people were still doing what they call vernacular, and I start my children by, you have to be speaking English, you don't speak English, you don't eat, you're not entitled to any to speak, and you speak any pidgin English, you know where that will land you. And my children started speaking English, and when she was speaking there, and I told them then I'm grooming you because you're going to be very great. That's why even from the name I gave my children, I dreaded poverty like sickness. So from the name I give them, if someone is not rich, I can't give. I have a friend that they were so rich and her name was Hilda. That was why I picked that name. And I saw the other one, Gilbert. The man was rich, I gave my son. And I was always conscious because I knew there would come a time like this that my daughter would be sitting and making speech. And when she was speaking, I said, speak your mother's mind.
Love it.
At that point, I was telling Mama, but I call it so. I cook in the bush because I didn't have a shop. The place had no shop, so there's no place I would say, let me rent. I was under the canopy. And under the canopy, you understand, we're selling food for over 300 customers a day. Hilda was in charge. Each time she comes, you will see her being so anxious to serve customers as a child. And that's what has letter to this.
You know, we're still working on something really exciting where you guys will come and actually get the full-fledged experience of being hosted by Hilda Baci. We're working on it, but thank you so much. God bless you and have an amazing day.